Liquor licenses in Gauteng unless you can prove you adhere to the rules and regulations. Lesufi's remarks come as many township and small businesses are preparing for the festive season. Let's get reaction now to what Panyeza Lesufi has had to say with Lucky Ndimane from the National Liquor Traders. Lucky, good afternoon. Welcome to today, and thank you very much for coming in. Just your overriding reaction first to what the Premier had to say today.
Thank you so much, Brother. Look, we understand where the Premier is coming from, but we also share the same sentiments in terms of alcohol abuse being an issue in our country. But also equally important is the issue of drug abuse. So we feel that those should be tackled. And, you know, we've partnered with various organizations, NGOs, including the South African Police Services, where currently we've actually funded 40 police, community policing forum in Tshwane to ensure that we tackle the issue of non-compliance that the Premier is referring to, more especially the issue of underage and drink and drive and selling alcohol to women that are pregnant. So we are on the same page in terms of tackling some of these issues, but
do you support the way he's going about to tackle the issue, to say no more licenses while we wait and see and build the capacity he's talking about to monitor?
I think we're not yet at a space in a country where things should be done by decree. You know, a person must just be on stage and just make a ruling that 1, 2, 3 is not going to happen. We're a constitutional democracy, and certain things need to happen under a consultation process. And we feel that that should also still be given space. It does not happen as yet. And, you know, if you look at who this is going to affect the most, it's actually the small black-owned businesses in the township space, because currently in Gauteng, specifically, most of the big guns who are not getting licenses as they should, I mean, they are operating under court orders. So we do not have money to be able to challenge the government of Gauteng to be able to be issued with licenses. So this is a short-gun approach. It's not going to work. It is not what we need to be doing.
Why will it not work? Because he seems to think it will assist the government to, for now, stem the sale of alcohol to underage children.
I think the Premier admits that this is an issue of competency and maybe manpower from the side of government. We should not be punished for the government's inability to be able to manage compliance and enforce the laws. Ours is to apply for liquor license so that we can be able to support our families and put food on the table. So really to be dragged into a scenario where now we have to start apologizing for the work that government should be doing and they're not doing, I think it's unfair.
Would you have preferred a different approach in terms of helping making your traders, liquor traders, not to sell to underage children rather than the halt of licenses? And if so, what kind of approach do you think would best work?
So we're talking about two issues. The first issue is an outlet that is already licensed, so that will be a tavern. But the Premier seems to be alluding to shebeens. So those are establishments that are selling alcohol illegally, and they should not be operating in the first instance. So those that will have the right infrastructure will then opt to apply for a liquor license so that they can operate in a legal environment. So the Premier is in fact saying that those should not get liquor licenses until government has sorted itself out in terms of managing their resources
and building capacity.
Yes, so which is a bit unfair to say to someone, sit on the doldrums or on the corner of the township economy until we are ready to come and assist you. I mean, that's a bit unfair.
Do you see a situation where whatever the Premier has said would still be undermined? Because the goal is to enforce the respect and the compliance with rules and regulations, especially underage children. But from what you've said, if shebeens are the ones which are not licensed, do you see them stopping selling alcohol to children?
Look, because they are illegal in their very nature, it means whatever operations that take place in that environment is illegal. So selling alcohol to underage, it's illegal. So you do not see those people wanting to, abide with any regulations.
And do you have a role at all there as the Liquor Traders Association?
Our role is limited to encouraging them to apply for liquor licenses. And we've run campaigns. Just today, we're in Bethlehem, where we had 197 shebeens that attended a session where we're encouraging them to apply for liquor license. It is better to be legal selling alcohol than to be on the other side.
So in Gauteng, with what the Premier has announced, if he's not going to give license, you are going out as an association saying to those who are illegal, please legalize yourself so that you can trade properly and then comply. But now if there are no licenses issued, they will carry on with the illegal activity. And that could undermine the Premier's efforts.
Yes, so indirectly what the Premier is saying is that if you are selling alcohol without a liquor license, just continue doing so because we are not prepared to help you get a liquor license. So it will definitely undermine his efforts.
Yeah, and I mean, what would be the best way for us as a country going forward? Because the other point that the Premier makes, which we must not lose, in his view, liquor can become a gateway to other drugs. Earlier, we had the Social Development Minister, Lindiwe Zulu, at this 3-day summit in Boksburg around drugs and stuff like to say there's abuse of drugs and substances, but including alcohol, and it's a concern. And you find that there's a link somewhere, somehow. As an association, I mean, how do you think we as a country can safeguard ourselves against that kind of abuse that leads to all sorts of complications and problems in our country, especially GBV?
I think we need to collaborate more with NGOs. But if you look at the way alcohol is treated in the country, it's a stepchild that no one wants to talk to. If just about a week ago, there was a global alcohol policy conference that took place in Cape Town. The alcohol industry was not allowed to be part of that. So most of the solutions that are sought to address issues that affect alcohol abuse, the alcohol industry is not invited to sit on the table. You cannot address or solve any issue that pertains to alcohol abuse without the alcohol industry sitting on the table.
So you don't see yourself as the problem?
No. So maybe I need to correct this. We are not invited in forums where solutions are sought to address the issue of alcohol abuse. The alcohol industry stands ready to engage with anyone so that we can find solutions together. I think we have done well as a country to sweep the issue of alcohol abuse under the carpet for so long. And what COVID-19 did is it reared its ugly head. We were able then to see what the effects of the abuse of alcohol are. There is no way that we can sit here and defend the abuse of alcohol and the responsible usage of alcohol. Hence, we are saying that solutions need to be sought. But a solution is not only going to come from the alcohol industry. We do not have a silver bullet, but we are saying that let's meet, let's sit around the table, let us all find solutions together for the betterment of our country.
So it's a collaborative effort in your view, and you believe your association could bring feasible solutions onto the table?
Yes, certainly we can do that, but we do not have a silver bullet. But we feel that any engagement in a collaborative effort can be able to bring that forth.
Yeah. Are you doing any campaigns or share with our viewers what campaigns you are doing? Because you and I have spoken in the past here on eNCA to reduce alcohol abuse, to bring about or promote what you call responsible drinking.
Yes, certainly we are doing programs as the National Liquor Traders that seem to curtail the issue of alcohol abuse. Just next week we're in KZN to deal with the issue of alcohol abuse. We are funded in that regard by Heineken Beverages. So what we do is we invite liquor traders to come into a town hall where we address issues of alcohol abuse, and we get a commitment and a firm commitment from liquor traders that they will not sell alcohol, for example, to underage. They will not sell alcohol to anyone who's suspected that they will drink and drive. But importantly as well, on the 25th of November, which is the start of the 16th day of activism against gender-based violence, we have 4 programs that we have lined up across the country looking at the high incidence of GBV, which will be KZN, Eastern Cape, as well as Gauteng. So we'll be there ensuring that we address the issue of gender-based violence. So we're not just restricted to issues of alcohol, but also the other factors that could be causal factors of GBV, which alcohol is certainly mentioned.
How would you hold your members accountable if they don't do what you've just said? Those who are traders legally, if they sell alcohol to an underage child and you discover that, because it's a business.
Yes.
They want to make money at the end of the day. And it might be difficult if somebody comes there with $500 and says, I need so many cases of this and this and this and that, and then they choose to look the other way. What are the consequences? Are you able to make sure or enforce it or hold them accountable?
I think we have mentioned that, we definitely have rotten apples amongst our midst, those that will put the profits ahead of the livelihoods of our people and even their health. And because of our partnership with police at the national level and also provincially, we're able to report some of these cases to police so that they can be dealt with. We have also said that, anyone who sells alcohol to underage, they should lose their license. There should not even be any form of, a reprieve, that they can come back and maybe trade again.
So if it is proven that any of your members have sold alcohol to young children, you would advocate for them to lose
lose their license, yes, because it means that they are not prepared to take care of the future of our children. They are not prepared to play a meaningful role in our society. So they should be removed from selling alcohol in our society altogether.
Thank you very much for your time and insights, and of course the reaction to this news from Gauteng's Premier's office, Panyaza Lesufi, that no more licenses to liquor traders. If you want to trade in alcohol this time around, they've suspended that until they can ensure that they'll be able to enforce compliance, especially the sale of alcohol to underage children. That's Lucky Ntimane from the National Liquor Traders. Still ahead.